There comes a point in life when holding on feels heavier than letting go. We grip so tightly onto relationships, expectations, past mistakes, and even the version of ourselves we once were, thinking that if we just try a little harder, if we just give a little more, things will fall into place. But what if the real power, the real growth, isn't in the holding on, but in the release? Imagine standing on the shore holding a handful of sand. The tighter you clench your fist, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you open your palm and trust, it rests there gently, effortlessly. This is life. This is how peace works. We struggle because we believe that control will bring us certainty, but in reality, it only builds resistance. The moment we learn to detach from the need to control everything, the moment we let go of the fear of what will happen next, we open ourselves to something greater: freedom, clarity, purpose. We are conditioned to believe that attachment defines our worth, whether it's the approval of others, the validation of success, or the security of familiarity. But the truth is, attachment often weighs us down more than it lifts us up. There is immense power in understanding that not everyone is meant to stay. Not every opportunity is ours to take, and not every path is meant to be walked forever. When we release what no longer serves us, we make space for what truly aligns with who we are becoming. This isn't about giving up, it's about moving forward. It's about recognizing that our energy is sacred, and pouring it into things, people, and dreams that drain us only takes us further from our own journey. Imagine what could happen if, instead of constantly looking back or sideways, comparing ourselves to others, we looked ahead and focused on our own path. Imagine the clarity, the sense of direction, the peace that would come from trusting ourselves fully. Growth is never found in attachment. It's found in trust. Trusting that when one door closes, another will open. Trusting that when people walk away, it's making space for the right ones to come in. Trusting that when something doesn't go as planned, something better is on its way. Life doesn't get easier by holding on, it gets lighter when we learn to let go. So today, make a choice. Release the past. Free yourself from the weight of expectations. Stop chasing what isn't meant for you. The path that's meant for you will reveal itself the moment you stop looking for it in someone else's journey. Detach, let go, and watch how the world unfolds before you in ways you never imagined. There is a quiet strength in surrender, a wisdom in knowing when to release what no longer nurtures your soul. Yet, we are taught that holding on is a sign of commitment, of resilience, of love. We grip so tightly to people, situations, and identities, believing that the more we hold on, the more secure we will feel. But what if the very act of holding on is what's keeping us stuck? What if true freedom isn't in the grasping, but in the letting go? Imagine trying to swim with your hands full of stones. No matter how strong you are, the weight will pull you under. Life works the same way. We carry regrets, old wounds, the need for validation, and the fear of the unknown as if they are badges of honor. But these things do not define us. They confine us. They anchor us to a version of ourselves that no longer exists. The moment we choose to release the weight, we rise, effortlessly floating toward who we were always meant to become. Letting go is not about indifference, nor is it a sign of weakness. It is the deepest form of self-respect. It is looking at your past with gratitude, at your present with clarity, and at your future with trust. It is realizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and sometimes the greatest act of love is to walk away from what drains your spirit. People will come and go, plans will change, and life will not always unfold the way you expect. But peace is found in the knowing that you are not here to force what is not meant for you. The universe has a rhythm, a flow that moves with or without your resistance. The more you force, the more you suffer. The more you trust, the lighter you become. Imagine the energy you would reclaim if you stopped chasing what is running away from you. Imagine the doors that would open if you stopped knocking on the ones that have already closed. Life is not meant to be a battle of control. It is meant to be a dance of trust. When you finally let go, you will feel it not as a loss, but as a return to yourself, to your peace, to the life that is waiting for you beyond the fears you once held. And in that moment, you will realize that what you were holding on to was never the security you thought it was. It was only the weight keeping you from flying. We are conditioned to believe that attachment defines our worth. We attach ourselves to people thinking they complete us. We attach ourselves to titles believing they give us value. We attach ourselves to old versions of ourselves afraid of who we might become without them. But what if these attachments are not lifting us but weighing us down? What if, instead of holding us together, they are holding us back? There's a profound illusion in attachment, the idea that clinging to something will make it last. But life does not work that way. Holding onto a flower too tightly only crushes its petals. A river does not stop for the rocks that try to hold it back, it simply finds another path. Yet we resist. We resist change because familiarity feels safe. We resist endings because we confuse them with failure. We resist detaching from things and people that no longer align with us because we believe that letting go means losing a part of ourselves. But the truth is, what is truly yours will never require you to grip it so tightly. Detaching is not about shutting people out or not caring. It is about understanding that your peace is more valuable than forced connections. It is about realizing that attachment often comes from fear, the fear of being alone, the fear of starting over, the fear of uncertainty. But what if fear was never meant to be your guide? What if life has been waiting for you to release what no longer serves you so it can bring you something greater? We live in a world that teaches us to measure our worth by what we accumulate, relationships, achievements, approval. But true fulfillment does not come from clinging, it comes from alignment. And sometimes alignment requires us to walk away from things that once felt like home. It is not abandonment, it is evolution. It is not selfish, it is self-respect. The moment you stop attaching your happiness to things outside of you, you become limitless. You stop chasing validation and instead you find peace in your own existence. You stop fearing loss because you trust that anything meant for you will always find its way. You stop holding on to people who drain you because you understand that the right ones will never make you beg for their presence. There is freedom in knowing that you are not here to cling, you are here to grow. And growth requires space, it requires release, it requires the courage to say, I trust what is ahead more than I fear what I am leaving behind. And in that moment of trust, you will realize that detachment is not about losing, it is about finally making room to receive. Energy is your most valuable currency. Where you invest it determines the course of your life. Yet, so often we spend it on things that drain us, people who do not value us, battles that do not belong to us, and worries that were never meant to be ours. We pour ourselves into relationships that demand more than they give. We chase validation from those who will never see us fully. We exhaust ourselves trying to hold together things that are already falling apart. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Imagine carrying a backpack filled with stones, each one representing an attachment, an expectation, a past wound. With every step, the weight grows heavier, slowing you down. Yet instead of setting it down, you convince yourself that carrying it is a sign of strength. But real strength is not in carrying unnecessary burdens, it is in knowing when to release them. When you stop pouring your energy into what drains you, you reclaim the power to invest in what fuels you. Not everything and everyone deserves access to your energy. Your peace is sacred. Your time is precious. Your mind is not a dumping ground for negativity, nor is your heart a resting place for those who only take and never give. It is not your responsibility to save people who refuse to save themselves. It is not your duty to hold on to relationships that have run their course. You are not obligated to prove your worth to anyone who cannot see it. The moment you realize this, you shift from being drained to being empowered. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you start caring about yourself too. It means understanding that self-respect sometimes looks like walking away. It means redirecting your energy toward people and pursuits that make you feel alive. You are meant to grow, to expand, to evolve. And anything that constantly depletes you is keeping you from that. The more you invest in yourself instead of what exhausts you, the more you step into your own power. Picture your energy as a flame. You can spend your life using it to keep dead fires burning, or you can use it to ignite something new, something powerful, something that sets your soul on fire. Choose wisely, because what you give your energy to is what shapes your reality. And when you finally learn to pour into what nourishes you, you won't have to chase happiness. It will find you. Life has a way of unfolding in ways we never expect. We make plans, we set expectations, we attach ourselves to outcomes, believing that if we do everything right, things will work out exactly as we imagined. But then reality steps in, people leave, doors close, opportunities slip away. And suddenly we find ourselves standing in the middle of uncertainty, questioning everything. In these moments, it is easy to resist, to fight against what is happening, to mourn what could have been. But what if the very thing you are resisting is leading you to something greater? What if life is not falling apart, but falling into place in a way you cannot yet see? There is a quiet wisdom in trusting the process of life. When one chapter ends, it is not the end of the book, it is simply a page turning. But too often we cling to closed doors, replaying the past in our minds, convincing ourselves that things should have been different. We forget that life is not meant to be controlled, it is meant to be lived. And part of living is understanding that what is meant for you will never pass you by, and what leaves was never truly yours to keep. Trusting the process does not mean you will always understand it. There will be days when nothing makes sense, when uncertainty feels overwhelming, when you question whether things will ever align. But trust is not about having all the answers. It is about believing that even in the unknown, you are being guided. Every setback, every detour, every unexpected turn is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Imagine a river flowing effortlessly toward the ocean. It does not fight the rocks in its path. It simply moves around them, trusting that its destination remains the same. Be like the river. Trust that when life redirects you, it is not to punish you, but to protect you. Sometimes the things you lose are actually the things that were holding you back. Sometimes unanswered prayers are life's greatest blessings in disguise. And sometimes letting go of the life you planned is the only way to step into the life that is waiting for you. The moment you surrender the need to control every outcome, you set yourself free. Free from the burden of expectations, free from the weight of disappointments, free to embrace what is instead of mourning what was. And in that freedom, you will find a peace that no amount of control could ever give you. Because life does not get better by holding on to what was. It gets better when you trust what is yet to come. There is a quiet kind of suffering that comes from constantly looking at someone else's journey, measuring your worth against their progress, and wondering if you are enough. We live in a world where comparison is easy, where success is defined by how far ahead someone else seems to be, and where our own path often feels inadequate simply because it does not look like theirs. But here's the truth. No two journeys are meant to be the same. No two souls are here to walk the same road. And the moment you stop chasing someone else's destination, you will finally start arriving at your own. Imagine a traveler who keeps stopping to admire other people's maps, constantly wondering if they have taken the wrong route. They never move forward because they are too busy questioning if they should have taken a different path. This is how many people live their lives, distracted by what everyone else is doing, constantly second-guessing themselves, never truly committing to their own journey. But the only way to move forward is to trust where you are going, even when the path is uncertain. Your purpose is not found in comparison. It is found in conviction. It is found in the moments you choose to listen to yourself instead of the noise around you. It is found when you realize that your journey is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. Not too fast, not too slow, but in perfect alignment with who you are becoming. The universe does not make mistakes. If you were meant to be somewhere else, doing something else, you would be. The fact that you are here on this path in this moment means there is something here for you to learn, to grow from, to embrace. Detach from the need to be where someone else is. Let go of the belief that your worth is measured by how quickly you reach a destination. Focus on your own path, with all its twists and turns, its setbacks and breakthroughs, its lessons and blessings. Walk it with confidence, with faith, with the knowing that everything meant for you will meet you exactly when it is supposed to. The sun does not compare itself to the moon. They both shine in their own time. Flowers do not rush to bloom because the one next to them blossomed first. They open when they are ready. And in the same way, your life is not behind, it is not off track. It is unfolding in its own divine rhythm. Trust it. Honor it, and most importantly, keep walking forward because the path ahead holds more for you than you could ever imagine. There is an undeniable power in silence. In a world that constantly urges you to prove yourself, to explain, to defend, to seek validation, choosing silence is an act of strength. not weakness. It is a quiet rebellion against the noise of doubt, against the distractions that pull you away from your purpose. Silence does not mean you lack confidence. It means you no longer need to announce it. It means you trust yourself enough to let your actions speak louder than your words. And then there is the boldness of acting as if you have nothing to lose. Imagine how free you would be if you stopped playing small, if you stopped overthinking every move, if you let go of the fear of failure. Fear is nothing but an illusion, a chain that binds you to the comfort of the familiar, but comfort has never been the birthplace of greatness. The moment you embrace life as if you have nothing to lose, you step into a realm where hesitation no longer holds you back. You take risks, you follow your intuition, you stop waiting for the perfect moment and realize that the perfect moment is the one you choose to act upon. Too many people hesitate, afraid of what others will think, afraid of rejection, afraid of not being enough. But the truth is, the greatest losses in life do not come from failing, they come from never trying. Regret is far heavier than any mistake. When you act as if you have nothing to lose, you give yourself permission to live fully, to speak less and do more, to detach from outcomes and immerse yourself in the present moment. You become unstoppable, not because you have no fears, but because you refuse to let them control you. Be silent when the world expects you to explain yourself. Let them wonder, let them doubt. And then move with the kind of certainty that makes explanations unnecessary. Act as if you have nothing to lose, because in truth, the only thing you ever truly risk losing is the life you were meant to live by staying trapped in hesitation. Move forward, step boldly, embrace the unknown. The world belongs not to those who wait, but to those who dare.